what I've just done, Nicole, is I've just gone through Proverbs 6 with you. And these are the 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 things that are detestable to him.
Yes.
Can you show me one of these that Candace hasn't done? Because according to what you just told me, that if I did these things, you would say that I'm evil. I want you to tell me which one would you not call Candace evil for?
I don't think she's lied. What has she lied about?
She's lied about the Egyptian planes. She lied about Tyler Robinson being on campus. She lied about Brigitte Macron being a male. She's lied about fill in the blank. You are not allowed you are one who professes to be a Christian. Am I correct? Going by, is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. You do realize that we are not allowed to make statements without a witness. You do know that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I can't say, for example, being something wicked, Nicole cheats on her taxes.
Okay.
I have to have proof. I have to have some evidence that shows Nicole cheats on her taxes. Otherwise, I've just lied on you. You do know that, right?
But she's saying she does. So
what? But has she shown it to you?
Okay. So if I go step by step,
let's go with Egyptian planes.
There's proof that Egyptian planes have been there. It's
documented. What is the proof? What is the proof?
I mean, even Baron Coleman has gone through
3 days plus, 3 days minus. That's a lie, Nicole. Respectfully, that's a lie. Today is Monday.
What do you mean 3 days plus or 3 days minus?
On her quote unquote data sheet,
that she had done an additional 15 hours of research and was able to discern that the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erica. Not Charlie, but Erica was the one being tracked by these planes. And indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and September of 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erica's documented locations, okay? 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is? The flights were majority clustered within 5 states, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Delaware, and Utah. And it's a pattern that she believes is statistically not random. I'm telling you this information has been completely verified. I am showing you this on a spreadsheet now. These are all the instances in which this plane, 68 instances that this plane crossed with Erica. And I'm also going to say this includes overseas as well. Okay. So my instant question becomes, why didn't Turning Point acknowledge that this plane was familiar to them? When I was taking all of these figurative online bullets, someone could have easily said something, right? That's kind of a repeat thing in this investigation. Josh Hammer lies, I get attacked, Turning Point just stays silent. They know he's lying, but they allow the lie to flow. Alex Clark lies, I get attacked, I'm telling the truth. Turning Point knows it, but they kind of allow this like Catholic thing, lie to flow. And the influencers are allowed to lie. Nobody at Turning Point ever just steps to clarify that I'm onto something or I'm telling the truth about something. And when it comes to these Egyptian flights, the math on this is indisputable. There is less than a 0.000000001% probability, okay, under random distribution models that these Egyptian planes coincidentally landed around Erica at these times. Like I said, this plane was not just with her in America. It was also tracking her overseas as well. I flagged this because I was alarmed because I thought it was tracking Charlie. And I am telling you that this plane, in addition to Charlie and primarily actually was tracking Erica. Now, let's get to the day of the assassination.
Erica could have come 3 days prior or 3 days after the plane. So today is Monday. She wants me to believe that if the plane came to Atlanta on Saturday, that means it was following me, even though I only got here on Monday.
Yeah, but I think she's clarified.
No, she never did.
It. I think
she didn't.
I think people misunderstand.
But no, why are you bending over backwards to justify that? Though
I'm not though, because
but you are.
that's the thing. I think what people misunderstand is they twist a lot of what she says, or they misrepresent what she says.
Let me ask you a question. You live in New York. What's 150 miles away from you? Respectfully, what's 150 miles away from you? New Jersey. Let's say that's probably closer. Okay, New Jersey is 150 miles away. You do realize that her Egyptian plane story also had a plus minus 50 to 150 miles.
But if
so
you,
not only could
when you
not only could
follow
have come
her
3 days
story-
before or 3 days after, but it could have been as much as 150 miles away. She's saying that means that they're following somebody.
Right, but she
Nicole?
clarified this and said that it wasn't following Erica, it was following Turning Point faith events. It wasn't following
3
Erica.
days after?
No, when she went
But
back into doing research
even
about it.
even in that, it still had the plus or minus 3 days.
Okay,
Nicole.
let me just
So if something
clarify
shows up
something.
on Thursday, they were following me
If you
on
were
Monday?
doing investigation, and I'm not even saying I agree 100% on things with Candace all the time, but let me say, if you were a journalist, let's just say, even if you're not Candace Owens, and you're investigating something, because you can't always just be a Christian looking at things. Sometimes you have a job and you're doing something else.
So
And
hold
you're
on, wait. Now you
investigating
definitely do not want to
I
walk
just wanna
into that
prove a
bee's
point.
nest.
And you're
Go ahead.
investigating something the same way cops investigate crimes, right?
Yep.
And you're following a lead. Sometimes that lead is going to go somewhere. Sometimes it's going to change, and that's basically what she's doing. So that's what happened. She was investigating something, and then she found out it led somewhere else. She thought it was following Erica, and it turned out it was actually following Turning Point faith events.
But she also had no proof that any of those things were that anybody, Erica, Charlie, Turning Point Faith, she has no proof of what they were doing. And I respectfully, Nicole, you are really turning yourself into a pretzel in order to justify this, because keep in mind what you just said right there violates what you said earlier as it relates to we as Christians can't just throw out willy-nilly information. If she has an idea and she's thinking about it and she's working through it, she has to have proof before she shares it, because I'm pretty sure the chat has already told me she never has clarified that.
She has.
So,
she
you are welcome
Wait,
to show me.
What do you mean she hasn't clarified that?
She's never fixed the fact that what she said about the Turning Point being followed by Egyptian planes is where?
She has. Hold up. Wait a minute. Yes, she has. She has absolutely clarified that it was following Turning Point faith events. The chat needs to go back and rewatch her episodes because she did.
No, I'm gonna give you time to go ahead and show us that,
because it's been in plenty of her episodes where she said that she found out it was actually tracking Turning Point faith. It wasn't.
But she's never shown us that she knows that was a Turning Point faith plane. You do see that's the problem.
She said it was following the events wherever there was a Turning
What does that
Point
mean?
faith event.
What does that mean though, Nicole?
Because they were tracking the flight patterns.
What?
What do you mean for what?
For what? What, a plane following another plane? This is not some 80s chase movie. Get in the cab. Follow that cab. This is not one of those. You're talking about a plane following a plane.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. And again, you've never justified the 3 plus or minus days.
What 3 plus or minus days?
That's listen again. Okay, no problem. On her spreadsheet, she said that the planes could be plus 3 or minus 3 days. Today is Monday. That means the quote unquote Egyptian plane could have been in the area 150 miles around Atlanta. That means they could be in Tennessee, for crying out loud.
Oh, you're saying like they landed a couple of 3 days later the event, or
3 days before, right? So that means that could have been Friday actually, or it could be this Thursday. That means they're following Jason, and it could be in Tennessee. By the way, they could be in Chattanooga, they could be in Birmingham, but they're following Jason in Cobb County, Georgia.
Oh, I didn't remember that part.
So that's why I'm saying, so respectfully,
I just remember when she clarified that she found out that it was actually following turning point.
You know what?
faith
They could have been following Jesus for all I care at this moment.
Right.
You're still 3 days late. They came to the tomb 3 days later.
I get,
They late. He done already rose, dude. You missed it.
I get what you're saying.
So can we agree? So now I gotta come back to my original commentary.
Right.
Is that not evil that I've done that? Because now I've besmirched all of this. I done cast all of this confusion into the mix. And by the way, let me just show you one more thing that the Lord hates. Not only does he hate a false witness that shares false testimony, but you know what he does? And those who stir up discord among the brothers. Now, at the current moment, you came to me and you said that you are a believer in Christ, correct?
Yes.
We have discord because of why? Because I'm bald? Because you live in New York?
No.
Because I'm talking loud in my studio outside of my kitchen? No. Why do we have discord, Nicole? Tell me why we have problems or why we're having this conversation.
I guess
Say it with me,
based off
boys
of
and girls.
The video that was posted with the comment.
Get down into the weeds. Get down into the weeds. Who are we talking about here, Nicole?
Well, I had a disagreement regarding a video that was posted.
What was the video about? Was it about oil changes?
No, it was about
Was it about
Candace.
clipping toenails? It was about who?
It was about Candace.
Got you, because she's sowing discord among the brothers.
It would have been, I mean, it would have been about
we would not have had this conversation. We wouldn't be having this conversation if she wasn't saying the dumb stuff that she says. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.